What is going on, guys? So we finally have some kind of communication from EA in regards to Battlefield Mobile. We haven't heard much from them or the developer Industrial Toys since the previous pre-alpha test that took place in September. Since then, it's been real quiet. But if you caught a video that I did recently on Battlefield Mobile, then you know that recently the game was actually removed from the Google Play Store, and in that video we speculated that it may be because they have a whole new app for the next test for Battlefield Mobile. Now, like I mentioned, we haven't really heard much from them since the last alpha test for Battlefield Mobile, but now EA has finally come out and said something about the game after all of this silence since that first alpha. In a post over on their official website, they stated, "In September, we had our first early playtest of the game, region locked to Thailand, the Philippines, and Indonesia. Seemed to work pretty well. We learned a lot, and we have a lot to work on for our next release. We're very thankful to all of our players for playing it hard, commenting, and just blowing stuff up." Now, this is a pretty generic check-in message, but there's a few things that I wanted to point out. For one, they are undoubtedly aware of the controversy surrounding the game's graphics and performance in the first alpha. This was a big issue that was brought up countless times by the community, and I think that they are definitely aware and are trying their best to get the situation sorted for the next test. Based off their "we learned a lot and we have a lot to work on for our next release" comment, I believe that they knew exactly what fans were complaining about, and hopefully they are working on solving the issues ASAP. The other thing is the fact that the game was removed off the Play Store just a few weeks before this announcement. It seems odd to remove the game from the store unless it was for a specific reason. Now, this is just speculation, but as I've mentioned, I think that it may be because they have a new app for the game's next release. And why would they need a new app, you might be thinking? Well, as we've seen before in games like Apex Legends Mobile, COD Mobile, PUBG, when the app is publicly available and anyone can download it, it's easy to get into the files and find stuff that has been added in recent updates. This is what data miners do to find leaks for upcoming content in games. So if the Battlefield Mobile app is publicly available and they're doing updates to it in the background for a future alpha or beta test, well then data miners and leakers are going to find that information fairly easily. And how can EA prevent this from happening? Well, it's simple. Don't make the app publicly available until the testing date is approaching. EA may just be trying to keep things under wraps for Battlefield Mobile until they're ready to share and show more. The game was heavily criticized on Twitter and YouTube for its lack of graphics and content in the early alpha test, and they may just be trying to control exactly what gets shared of the game now to prevent any further controversy. The negative attention that Battlefield Mobile got definitely hurt the hype surrounding the game, at least for now, so EA may just be trying to take extra precautionary measures to not further hurt the game's public image. You gotta remember, their game is going to have to compete with games like Call of Duty Mobile, Apex Legends, PUBG, and future games coming out next year like Valorant, COD Mobile 2, or Warzone Mobile, whatever that game ends up being, and so much more. They've got a lot of competition, and right now their move might just be to focus on making the game great now while they have the time to work on it in solitude. I have high expectations for Battlefield Mobile, and I think it's going to be a great game. It didn't have the greatest first test, but it was an early alpha build of the game, and it will undoubtedly be improved the next time we see it. And I would much prefer them to work in silence and focus on making the game as good as it could be, if that means that we get the best possible version of the game the next time we see it. That's all for today's Battlefield Mobile video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe, because anytime there is Battlefield Mobile information, I will definitely be posting that here on the channel, so you're not going to want to miss out on that. But with all of that being said, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.